Hey, I'm Robert, and not only am I a team member here at A&G Central Music, but a long time ago, I started to play percussion instruments just the way you're starting today. So, today's an exciting day. You got your new percussion kit all in this fancy bag here, and I thought we would take some time together and open up the bag and go through what's in there together and how to put it together so that you can get a good start in instrumental music. So let's get right into this case. It's very exciting. So unlike a lot of the other instruments that your friends may be learning, if you're going to learn percussion, you're actually going to learn multiple instruments all at the same time. And in this case, we have two of those instruments. We have the melodic percussion, which is represented by the bells, which is the big part on the bottom in your case. And then we have the rhythmic percussion, which we all know as the drums, and that's represented by this practice pad. This one's shiny and new, which is set up, looks a lot like a drum, but it's quieter than a drum, right? So, in our case, we have the bells and the pad, and then we have the tools that we need to play them. For the practice pad, we have our drumsticks, and for the bell set, we have the bell mallets. Okay? Now, also unlike a lot of the other instruments, we always perform and practice in a standing position. So, in order to be able to do that, we need to stand to hold up our instrument. That's also included in your bag here on the side. The stand comes in two pieces so that it can fold down and fit in your bag comfortably. Okay? The top and the bottom. Okay? The top has these four kind of limbs that stick out, arms, I call them, that stick out, and it just raises and lowers like this, and there's actually a stop. It'd probably be hard for you to see on video, but there's a little stop here so you can't raise it too high. So just push it up until it stops, and then you know it's in the right position. There's a little screw here, we tighten down, and now the top of the stand is ready to go. So let's look at the bottom. Here's the bottom. We just have to unfold the legs, much like we unfolded the arms on the top. We just kind of push this down. There we go. And then as you can see, there's another thumb screw that we can tighten up so that our bells don't fall over, right? Then it's just a matter of putting the bottom of the stand on the floor, pretend this is the floor, and the top of the stand into the bottom. And we can adjust the height. And this is an important thing. When we practice, we want to ensure that the instrument's in a comfortable playing position for us. So what I like to do as a good starting point is to set the stand on the floor and raise up the top part of the stand until it's even with your belt line, right at about your waist. Some of you may find as you practice that you like it a little bit lower, some of you may find that you like it a little bit higher, but the belt line is a very good place to start. So, on the floor, we adjust this up to the proper height to be at your belt line, and then we just tighten up this thumb screw, and it's not going to go anywhere. And it's really important to mention at this point that these thumb screws that we use to tighten the stand together, you don't have to crank that down with all your strength. Just tight enough, it's not going to fall over for you. Okay? So once we have the stand together, then we have to place our bells on it. You will notice that the stand arms have a skinny end and a fat end, or a wide end and a narrow end. Okay? Well, that's because your bells have a narrow end and a wide end. So pretty obvious what we're going to do here, right? We're going to put the wide end in the wide end of the stand and the narrow end in the narrow end of the stand. If you can see in the bottom here, I'll peek at you through the bells. You can see at the bottom here there is a little hole. That hole has a pin at the top of the stand that kind of helps you center it up. So you line it up on there, you put it up onto the stand, and you'll be nice and comfortable to play your instrument. Okay? Same thing taking it down, it just lifts off, and you break down the stand in the reverse order by pushing down on the arms. Once you take the top off, you can push down on the arms and you can push up on the legs and put it away. But before we do that, let's take a quick look at how our practice pad or our little drum works. For that, obviously, we don't need the arms. So we can leave the arms down, or you can have them up. It makes no difference. I personally, when I practice, I go ahead and just leave the arms up. That way I can switch really quickly from the practice pad to the bells and back and forth without having to take my stand apart. Okay? Bottom of the pad is threaded and the top of your stand is threaded. So you simply set the practice pad on top of the stand and spin it on until it stops, and that's perfectly tight enough. Okay? At this point you can play your practice pad just fine. If you find that the arms of the stand are getting in your way, fine, collapse them down, they'll be out of your way. Okay? Same thing to take it off. Quick spin, and you're ready to put your instrument away. But we're not quite done yet, because I want to talk about one more thing that's important for you to get started. Now, we're really excited. We want to put our kit together and we want to start practicing right away. But once you have it together, the most important thing for you is to have a proper stick hold or proper mallet hold. So I thought I would just take a minute to talk about that. For your drumsticks, the easiest way to figure out how to hold them is you'll notice that there's a label. Now, the label that's on your drumsticks or the printing that's on your drumsticks will always be different depending on who made them, but there should be some markings on there. And what I like to do is I take my hand, I put my thumb out and my fingers together, and I put my thumb on the side of the stick covering some of that printing. Gently close my hand around the stick so that my thumb and first finger are gripping the stick and the rest of the stick is loose in my hand, and that's a proper stick hold. And the same can be said for your bell hold. Thumbs on the side, fingers around, palms facing towards the floor. None of this thumbs facing the air and arms sticking out. Like this is a good stick position, and that'll get you started. So now you know how to take your instrument out of the case, you know how to put it together, and you even know how to do the ninja stick hold. You're ready to practice. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.